Party for everyone. This is just a story of from Ukraine how a doctor ended up saving my life through God because I ended up falling. Um, well, the story starts like this. Um, as a young kid, I had few friends, but they were very little. And as a friends, I say um, this is a strong word. Um, Jesus can be your friend. Like um, apart from that, there's very little people that you can call them friends because friend in the United States is a big word as well as anyway. So I was I met this Baptist family in Ukraine while I was living in my grandma's town. She was she was a very she was a busy woman because she had her mother who was blind and her son who was epileptic. So she didn't put much effort or time for her grandkids or anything like that. As I know, she left my mom when she was two with strangers. She left to go to work or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is that um, we met. We met with my friend Tolik, and we hung out. We hung out because he was a neighbor of mine, and so we jumped the roof to go to his house instead of going around the house and around the property into the gate. And one of them days, I end up being lazy and stepping on the roof of our garage that was just built with um, a metal sheet of 4x4 or 8x12, I should say, and I stepped on it, and there was no beam that supported the arm, and I fell through as the metal bent over, and my arm ended up plowing through, and I ended up slicing my finger at my wrist, my hand. So this is unfocused, but you can see the stitches in between the scars. I fell through, and I felt like it was butter. Like I saw the ligaments, I saw my nerves. I start fading out, so I kind of stopped looking at my arm and I ran into the bathroom. My grandma was washing her clothes. There was a Tide bleach in the water or whatever, so I decided to put it in and kill the bacteria. Um, Maybe it was just water, but anyway, as I started walking to get some help with bandages, whatever, I needed some stitches, but the whole floor was blood, and my grandma was like, "Oh, let me check it out." So she put some ointment, antibacterial, and it was painful. But anyway, next thing I know, we need to ask our neighbor to take us to the hospital because the closest hospital was a few miles away. As he jumps in the car, we drive there, and the first thing the doctor says, I mean, this was like 15 years ago, so don't get me wrong. The Ukrainian people are awesome. But at the time, there was a lady who's sitting in the front desk, and she's like, "Do you have money?" My mom was like, "Yes, I have money. Like, can you operate my son?" And she goes, "Oh, we have no surgeon here, surgical procedures, or at this time." So we jump in the car and we drive into Slobotka. Slobotka is um, where our friend lived. My wife's a mutual friend. I'm sorry, I have allergy on my eye and it's irritating, but um, so we jumped in the hospital and they never ask a question. They just put me on the table and they start operating me. Three women start walking around me. They're trying to entertain me. I was probably 14, but just the fact that this doctor had no in mind of money. He just wanted to heal me and he wanted to operate me. So the most painful thing was the first stitch because it went through. um, the pain relief, whatever. So the pain relief ended up going right into my arm, and I cannot forget how painful it was to take out the stitches, because the doctor said, "You're lucky, man. You're blessed, because 1 millimeter away from your nerves, you would have been handicapped, and I would have been just having my arm stuck up." But yeah, God had mercy on me on that time, and all over my life. But just saying that how close I was to be handicapped, it was very an eye opening of how right now I can look at my life and have these 4 stitches that are just showing me how easy to be how easy to is to become a vegetable. And I just want to continue on the process of the people who are attacking Russia, the people who are attacking Ukraine in from Russia. They don't comprehend the full objective. So they want to conquer kids, they want to conquer women, they want to conquer the land that they didn't sow, but they want to reap. As well as those. So I saw a footage yesterday, or I should say today, but early morning, of a Russian troops giving up. So they're in the trenches. There's like 5 Ukrainian guys surrounding this Russian dude, and he's walking with his head down towards them. And the Ukrainian people, the Ukrainian soldiers, they don't know if he has a grenade or not. So they just shot him. They shot him, and he explained that, man, I want to live. Like, they're in my territory, they're in my country, they're trying to occupy something that they haven't lived for. And he explains that he is better off shooting that guy and not doubting that he's gonna kill us the next second because he has a secret weapon inside of his sleeve. So I just wanted to talk to those who understand Russian and be clear on how Ukrainian army works. Если вы хотите жить, если вы хотите не умирать, как сволочи, уйдите с нашей земли, потому что Бог сильнее, чем вы все с ада и все ваши писюльки, которые вы стреляете. Я хочу сказать то, что люди уже не насытились тем, что они пропагандируют русское нацизм. Nazis were the Hitler was killing Jews, all the cripples. Um, the Russians are doing the same thing. They're killing Ukrainians. They're killing a nation. That they think that they're gonna be doing a favor of wiping us out. But to to be clear, there's no there's no better way to lay a life for your friend like Jesus did. So you can look at this way how the Russians are dying in Ukrainian territory, and a lot of mothers saying, "Oh, he went to heaven." When you're killing people, you're not going to heaven. When you're defending your country, you are going to heaven. Um, it's a very debatable process of where pastors leave their Bibles and they go and defend their country. Defend their country because they know that their kids are not going to have a place to stay. They have no choice to defend their country because they need to protect their family. I'm just want to thank God that I was able to move my wife and my kid from it. But I think every day how pathetic I am as a man running from my house Ukraine is my house, and my mother thinks that she saved me from taking me away from Ukraine, but here's the suffer. We're suffering more because we cannot do anything. We cannot do anything. That we can do everything in Christ. So, whoever's watching this, and if you want to be supportive, please like, comment, share. I'm not sharing these stories because I feel comfortable, but I feel like these stories are something from inside my heart. And I'm not trying to cry because I'm a female or whatever. Men can cry too, and I realized that in church because a grown man who's like 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, crying because the Lord touched his heart. The Lord touched his heart in a way that no man can do it. No pastor can do it. But if God touches your heart, nothing can change it except God. As well as you cannot change anybody. God only can change a person. So if you're trying to change somebody, don't do it. You're just wasting your time. If you're trying to, yeah, this is a hard topic. It's been a lot on my mind, but it's just